So real quickly, try to explain a concept. 20 versus 80%. It's been this long-term thing of, hey, if you're throwing 80% of your energy into something, or if 80% of something is giving you all your financial returns, that's where you should focus your energy. And I want to kind of fight against that. A lot of times people are saying, Erica, well, this YouTuber is doing so well because he's putting 100% of his time into YouTube and he's just kicking it. Ooh, that's a tough one. Now, it applies differently to different businesses. So the 20% rule for me. I started a wholesaling side of business arm, however you want to say it, to get more leads, to get more land in Texas, to get more real estate deals, to get that pipeline flowing. If you know anything about wholesaling, it's basically a high profit, high paying job. That's what it is. It is, because you're doing a lot of calls, you're doing a lot of communicating with people, you're doing a lot of closing, you're doing a lot of work. My goal of even documenting a lot of this is to explain to you that you can win without having it be 100% focus. Before you throw the tomatoes, hear me out. I literally am a big believer in, if you're going to cut down a tree in 6 hours, spend the first 4 hours sharpening your axe, right? Get it out the way. And I've researched and educated myself and been to masterminds and sat with other business owners and sat with people who've done it for years. And honestly, when I really dissect their business, leads, right? 6,000 calls to a deal, right? Certain areas they work and they dominate. And a little extra component is TV ads, right? So if you know that, if you've been studying that, you've been researching that, you've been slicing through that, you've been dissecting through that, you know, okay, now I have 5 VAs making calls. Some in Mexico, some in Philippines. They're going to make hundreds of calls a day per person. So at the end of the week, we'll hit that 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 call mark per week, right? Then we're talking about text engagement. Then we're talking about just following up, right? You're feeding the pipeline with leads. You're buying the data. You're working the calls. You're offering solutions to people's problems. And that's what people want.
If you want to build generational wealth, you may want to start a family bank. And if you do, we are having a family bank challenge. It's actually our second one that we're doing, going to happen mid-February. I want to invite you to come to familybankchallenge.black, get on our email list. We're going to have a Zoom session where we're going to talk about all of the details. And at that time, you can decide if you want to participate. So familybankchallenge.black.
And you're just doing a process of calculation. So instead of saying, how many calls can I personally make a day? How many homes can I drive by driving for dollars? How many houses can I do this? You implement people in your team that funnel it up to the top, right? Because imagine as a pyramid, unfortunately. As many people that go into the funnel, who add value, who make phone calls, who help close deals, that's all pushing to the goal of what? Us closing deals at the end. It's closing deals. And so if you have that speed, that momentum built up, that doesn't mean I have to sit there all day long, 8, 9, 10 hours and just real estate and just quote it and rock myself to sleep with it. I actually can not set it and forget it, but actually put a team and a system involved that can do 80% of what I can do together, right? So if I got 6 people working their butt off, I've got 2 or 3 guys over here who connect me to buyers lists, and I've bought a lot numbers of buyers lists, then I will be able to close a certain amount of deals per year. Correct. And this is where that 20/80, I fight against that. This is where I tell you that scaling up via other people's time, right? We don't always have to have other people's money, but other people's time. I don't just have my 24 hours. Now I have 6 people's 24 hours, right? So I just tripled myself. Correct. Another thing on that is networking is your friend. It is your friend, right? So immediately when I went out and started telling people, hey, I got this over here, I got this over there, I'm working a few deals, out of the woodworks came people with buyers list, with let's go to lunch, let's go to dinner. Hey, what do you have? What do I have? Let's partner, let's JV. I rather have 100 deals where I'm 50% of it than 50 deals where I'm 100%, if that makes sense for everybody. You have to focus on your strengths. What is your strengths? I'm a visionary, not an integrator. Now, let me clarify what that means. If you read the book Rocket Fuel or you get the book Traction, they're both similar. One person's a visionary, one person's an integrator. I know that about myself, that I am a visionary. I have an overall goal. I have an ideal. I'm the donut, not the donut hole, right? And so I put together a team and a staff that are accountable to each other, accountable to SOPs, which is standard operating procedures, accountability for how many hours a day they're making phone calls. And then there's a manager over them that checks how many calls they're making, and they send reports to him. There's certain things we've kind of gone over, certain lists, demographics we want to focus on, right? So I know the overall arching goal, the overall arching pie, and I put people to work, and then I come in as a closer.
Hey, Classy Climbers, Cherie Warwick here, and Erica's always encouraging us to buy assets, whether it's real estate, raw land, trucks, even buying businesses. Eventually, you're going to come to a point where you need to raise money, whether you're raising it through traditional lenders or alternative lenders. I hope you'll give me a call. I've helped companies raise anywhere from $10,000 to $20 million. Call or text me 703-489-4589, and let's see what your options are.
Because that's what I am. I'm just a closer. I'm a visionary, but I'm also a closer. And this has worked well for several businesses, right? And what people will eventually learn is, you just go all in, you hustle, 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 hustle. You work a business so that you know the business, you understand the business, and you know if somebody's ripping you off, right? You know enough to be dangerous. But at that point, that's when you start delegating. Because there's only so much you can do in a day, and you will quickly burn out. So again, if you're watching this channel and you're seeing like, what are you doing, Erica? This is just how I run my companies and how I'm able to start multiple ventures. And 2020 has taught me very, very well. Even if they say, a millionaire has multiple streams of income, or they all their streams are real estate. If something happens to one or two parts of their legs of their streams, they have other streams. But ultimately, all roads lead to real estate, and people need to have some kind of components working in their way. And I'm going to do a video on if I could go back and spend $400,000, where would I spend it and how would I spend it? Because I think that video will be very helpful. But ultimately, I'm getting into this process, spending maybe $100 a week per VA. Bought data for maybe $5,000, right? Use batch text leads. Use Ring Central. I'm going to be using OfferFast and a couple other components. And really just reaching out to people and getting lots of buyers lists to communicate with. So we'll go more in deep in what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, and how it's this more systematic way, and how it's like level C instead of the ground floor in more videos. But I think it's very important for you guys to understand, once you understand the process, once you understand how to start systems, and you have a little bit of money put aside that you can pay some staff, pay for freedom hours, pay for your hours to be returned to you. That's the nicest way I can say this. It gets better. It gets a lot better. And this is how you have people who have multiple companies, and you talk to them and they have a very different life, because they're able to invest in freedom hours for themselves. Like, I'm willing to pay you a couple $100 a week to get freedom for me, right? And we'll talk more about it in some more future videos. But I hope this was helpful. Hope you guys understand what I was breaking down. If not, let me know. Give me some feedback.
Hey everybody, this is DJ the Money Coach, coming to you to celebrate our victories with the Classy Climb. Over 9,000 views, over 400 people attended the 2 webinars, over 200 people downloaded the Family Finance 101 curriculum. That's 3 hours, 18 modules, teach you how to get your credit score 30 to 60 points higher in 60 days. Teach you how to become consumer debt free, pay yourself first, open a corporation, and leverage the tax laws through businesses, real estate. And to prove how that works, I've done it. And we'll do it for you with the digital family finance booklet. We'll give you a bonus complimentary consultation worth $1,200 with me and 2 other our team members. We'll also give you this bonus webinar, but you got to hit the link now for the Black Friday special, and we will help you win in 2021. Hit the link. Come join us.